So we've got a crew of people. The one individual whose name I know is a guy named Walter Masterson Jr. And I allege that what he's doing is he's engaged in fraud, trying to deceive people into thinking that he's pro-Trump so he can ingratiate himself to somebody else who's pro-Trump and incite them to violence, as we saw on January 6th. He gets my phone number and he calls me and he starts harassing me on the phone. And I say, Walter, is that you? Don't call me again.
Wear a mask, asshole.
So that guy just said, wear a mask, asshole. So we got people here who are agitating, harassing, and I think it's important that the NYPD make an effort to prevent crime, because otherwise somebody like that barks something at me, I punch him in the face, and then everybody's getting arrested. This guy calls me on my phone, I tell him, don't call me anymore. He calls again right away, that's harassment. Calls again from multiple different phone numbers. Could be wire fraud. I wake up in the morning, there's an ad on Craigslist with my phone number. I didn't place the ad. I have 1 million phone calls and text messages from people who want to pick up this free Samsung TV because I'm going out of town. This is essentially a directed denial of service attack on my phone. It's ringing so much I can't use the phone. Later that day, I get texts from American Express. My American Express card has been compromised and it's being charged $479 at Bloomingdale's, $19 at some food delivery thing. So they're assaulting me, they're harassing me.
So this same person has been doing all this to you? Is it all one
I
person?
believe it is this same guy, and he's working with other people. He called and I said, is this Walter? And he reacted in a way that makes me believe it was him. He's here to antagonize and harass people. And as I understand it, harassment is against the law. I'm concerned that the guy disguises himself with pro-Trump equipment and goes to January 6th. Now we've got people who are in solitary confinement getting their heads kicked in because this might be him right here. No, it's not. Walter. Hey, Walter. That looks just like him. Hey, Walter. I think that's him. Yeah, that's him. I'm pretty sure that's him right there. Casing the protest. That's him. Walter, come here. That's the guy. Please come with me. That is him. Can we pursue him and get a report? He's getting away, guys. There he is. We can't go after him and talk to him. That's the guy right there. Guys, that was him. He just walked right by. We're going to write this down and file it away and do nothing? Or are you going to go grab the guy? He's gone. This is a buddy of his. These guys are all around.
Sorry,
Here he is. Weren't you at City Hall? Weren't you at Gracie Mansion yesterday, buddy? No? You weren't? You sure? You look mighty familiar. I know, these guys are casing the protest, and he just walked away. I just told you a guy who is harassing me and committing wire fraud walked right by, and you guys stood here. So what do we want to do? What do we want to do?
Classified.
Okay, what do we want to do?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
We didn't see him do anything right now. If that was him.
That was him.
So I want to get to the bottom of what we're going to do first. Okay? And then we'll take it from there. Okay?
When they start calling me on my phone and saying, hey, little bitch, and I say, Walter, is that you? And he reacts as he just did right there, nervously. He turned around and he looked at me, and then when I said that's him, he stopped over there and looked back.
He did.
That was him.
All right, we'll do a report for you. Do you have your ID?
You know what, guys? I'm not convinced that you're going to do anything. Why do we need my ID to start a report about Walter?
Because you're the victim of a report.
You see how these people are looking at me? And that guy who was here in the NASA hat took a picture of me?
Yeah.
Because they're scoping this thing out. And they're waiting for the moment that all the NYPD officers are on Tinder or Instagram or whatever I see everybody looking at their phones doing, and then they're going to do something to me. So I'm trying to report this to you guys so we can prevent them from doing crime and stop people who are walking around casing out protests to try to harm people. That was him who walked by. So the very day that they start harassing me in public, I get a phone call at midnight that says, what's up, little bitch? Not too many people call me and say that. So I said, is that Walter? and the guy was stunned on the phone. I recorded the call. I'll provide it to you if you give me your business card. And I started saying things that indicated to me that it was him. And he called back right away, so it definitely wasn't a wrong number. And then I started getting lots of phone calls from lots of different phone numbers. So maybe it was a random occurrence, but I'm pretty sure it was him. Then the very next day, there was an ad placed on Craigslist.
Are you doing this just for cameras? Like,
No, I'm not doing this for camera. I'm doing this to try to stop people from harassing me.
okay,
They're
so
swarming
why
me in
is this so
public.
necessary to record
This is
it?
necessary because every time I've asked the NYPD for help in protecting me from criminals, they're not doing anything. They're standing over here texting on the phone while these guys are swarming this protest, waiting to cave my head in with a brick. It takes more than a half an hour for somebody to come over and take a report, even though there's plenty of cops standing around on
Different cops do
Instagram.
different things.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I've been to the 10th precinct. You guys have body cameras, I have this.
That's fine.
If it's a problem,
It's not.
not an issue.
To me, it seems like you're doing this just for the camera.
why
don't
does it
want
seem
that
that
to be
way?
the case.
Keep pointing the camera.
I want
at
you
us.
guys to be on.
No, we're
Because
good.
you see, to me,
We're doing our
when a
job.
terrorist walks by, I don't think you are
Terrorist, he's
doing
not
your
a
job.
terrorist.
Well, okay, you should go testify in front of Congress and say that. I agree. What he is a provocateur who is committing fraud by disguising
How do you know
himself.
he wasn't going to work?
How do I know he wasn't going to work?
Yeah.
We should stop him and ask him. You're the cops.
You have no reason
He's a
to stop.
suspect. I do have a reason to stop him. He
Okay.
was harassing me.
Look at
It's
you.
clear to me that you guys aren't going to help me.
Well, no, we're going to do the report for that incident that you had that night.
Maybe it's just a coincidence that I get all these phone calls the very same night, and the next day there is somebody placing a fraudulent ad on Craigslist using my phone number clearly to harass me. That wasn't a mistake. Who did that? Well, it's worth stopping him and asking him. Hey, Walter, you work right around here by
can't
City
stop
Hall?
a
Are you
random
here?
stranger.
If I say that guy's harassing me, you can't stop him and ask him?
No, not for her.
He didn't respond to you.
Yeah, he did. He turned around and looked at me. And when you guys weren't looking, he turned around and
We were
looked
looking
again.
at him.
You weren't looking. I was looking at you when you turned around.
What's the rest of the info here that we need?
I'm going to provide, the log from the phone with all the text messages of all the calls that came
Provide
in.
it and stop talking to the camera.
I'm talking to you.
Okay, so provide it.
I was looking at this guy who's standing right here because I've
So
become.
provide the information.
I don't have it on me right now.
Where is it?
Are you being serious?
Yes, I'm being serious.
It is at my apartment.
We're not going to your apartment.
That's what I'm saying. I want to contact a detective and send it to him.
Okay.
You think
We don't
I'm walking
have to.
around with recordings of phone calls? It can't be a serious question that Officer Kobaj thinks I have telephone recordings on me.
Why not? You can record on your phone like you're recording right now.
See, now you're just being antagonistic and not helpful. Is this courtesy, professionalism, or respect
All of
right
the
here, right
above.
now? No, it's not. It's antagonism.
Okay, what was said over the phone that you can recall?
Hey, little
I
bitch.
got that.
And I said, who's that?
Okay.
And then the person said, I don't know, Jason, who are you? So clearly it was somebody who knew who I was.
Okay.
And I think it was that guy who just walked down the street,
Okay.
who Congress thinks is a terrorist and you guys think is no problem. So they were clearly calling to antagonize me. And then I said, is that Walter? And he paused as if he were stunned. And he said, maybe. And I could tell by his voice that it was Walter Masterson Jr., that jackass who just walked past.
Okay.
And I said, listen to me, you idiot, don't ever call me again.
Okay.
Hung up the phone. He called right back. And I said, now I'm letting you know. In New York State, when I tell you not to call me and you persist in calling me, that's harassment. Hung up the phone. Called me again.
Yes.
Phone started ringing from all kinds of different phone numbers. So maybe he's freaking phone numbers. Is that a crime? I don't know. You're the cops.
Okay.
Maybe the detectives know.
And you feel threatened by this individual?
Well, they're following me around the park and the cops seem unwilling to do anything other than antagonize me.
Okay.
So yes, I feel threatened. So when I challenged him with logic and intelligence rather than my fist or breaking his teeth in the street, which
The
is
right
what he
thing- right thing to
deserves,
do.
right.
You did the right thing.
Then what he does is, I believe, is to start intimidating and threatening me at home by calling me and letting me know that he knows my name. They were swarming me, surrounding me, and making me feel in fear for my
They
safety.
Swarmed you and
Making
you
me
felt-
feel an imminent threat of bodily harm. They were grabbing me, they were threatening me, they were touching me. I told them to get away, they refused.
They kept getting
They
closer
kept
and closer.
advancing on me. I told them to get away, and I ultimately had to leave and try to find the police. Thank you very much, officers.
All right, so
This
give it about
safe.
2 days, and and you'll have a report number for you.
Thank you very much. It's very important that he be investigated. If he was inciting violence here, he was doing it on January 6th. This is an important thing. Thank you, John.
All right, be safe.
Have a
Enjoy
nice
your
day. Man, I've seen dogs take pills easier than that. But there we go. Finally, a police report filed.